Yes, that is the charity we are supporting this year's Mind for Better Mental Health. If you missed it at the start of the show, me and Stars went through our own sort of personal tales about our struggles with mental illness. While we're waiting for Auto, guys, do you have any tales to tell about friends or colleagues, or any stories from yourselves, if you're willing to share, that is, about any sort of struggles with mental health? Or Sean, you mentioned something about actors often have mental health issues.
Yeah, there's a lot of situation because it's a industry with like 95% unemployment. You're constantly sort of being put up for rejection. There's a lot of instances of substance abuse. So actors have to really be careful about, and some acting methods involve like delving into darker parts of your persona. So actors have to be very cognizant about their mental health and sort of do things to self-care and take care of themselves. And yeah, so this is a very pertinent subject. And like everyone, especially during these past few years of the pandemic, I've lost people. I've experienced that isolation, and I've been very grateful to you guys for providing this sort of community. That is much like Otto was saying, it's been a sort of a good like anchor point, sort of look forward to and know that you folks are out there.
Yeah, thank you. That's nice to hear it. Yeah,
I'm actually kind of touched.
yeah, I'm very touched. How about you, Nifty? Anyone you know, or obviously no names. Have you any kind of experience with sort of anyone with sort of mental problems, or has that been a part of sort of your life anywhere?
Yeah, I've had people close to me that, in some cases, you see them struggling, and maybe you want to help, you're not sure, or people who eventually come to you, and it turns out they've been struggling for a long time, and you had no clue, because maybe just because they were able to hide it from the world doesn't mean that internally they weren't really dealing with a lot of stuff. And so in that regard, because in the most recent example in my life, when that person came forward, I could kind of see the healing already begin, because they got all this stuff off their chest. Finally reached out to people who they know care for them unconditionally, and I knew that was obviously, it was hard for them to do. And this is with some of the closest people in the world to them. So therefore, anybody out there, just know that there's all sorts of people who are there for you. You might not think they do. That might be one of the things you're struggling with, is thinking they don't, but they do. There's always somebody, and just by reaching out, that's only gonna help you on the road to something better.
Definitely. I think if anyone's listening to this and wondering, feeling, it might not be anything obvious. I think it strikes, and it definitely did for me, it strikes you in ways that you wouldn't understand or wouldn't realise, because it is a new feeling. But if something's just not quite right, you don't have to suddenly wake up and go, oh yeah, I'm depressed. Like, you don't know it until you feel it and until you talk to someone about it. So if anyone's out there and needs to realise something's wrong, talk to someone about it, even if you think it's inconsequential. I've been through so much of my life thinking, I just don't want to be a burden to someone, or I don't want to bother other people with this problem that I've got, or anything like that. It helps to talk. People listen. People don't mind how small your problem is, and if they do mind, bugger them. Find someone else. Find someone that will listen, because there are plenty of them out there. Definitely. Also just messaged me saying he's having German internet difficulties, so we'll give him a few minutes. He could drop in when needed. How about you, Stars, in sort of your life and your expertise?
Yeah, I've come from a family with a myriad of obviously problems. I don't want to be too specific because it's a bit personal, but growing up, it was always kind of like, I think everyone has that moment when they realize that their parents are, they're human, but it's quite another to realize, oh, there's actual like a struggle going on there that's more than that you don't realize, maybe because you don't see those problems in yourself, or because it doesn't make sense to you, because a lot of the time mental illness, like the ways it manifests, doesn't always make sense outside looking in. And knowing how to approach can always just be, because you don't want to make them feel like they they're weak for accepting help. That's always the worry is you don't want to admit you're a burden. You don't want to admit, oh, I need help. It's like we're so conditioned to refuse help and say, no, I'm fine. I'll be okay. And it takes a lot of courage to admit, no, I'm not fine. Even if I just need to talk to you, even if I just need to unload, maybe I need to talk to you for an hour a week or something. I just check in. That can make a world of difference for the right people. And I'm really glad that we're supporting Mind, because it's such a worthy cause, and I think everyone struggles with it at some point. Obviously, different degrees, different points, different ways, but it is a very worthy cause, and I'm glad to help. Brody suffers from various anxieties, and the amount of help he's gotten from his local sort of council for help has been really helpful for him. Going through a therapist and stuff like that it helps to have someone to listen. It really does.
Yeah, listening's free. People that worry about it, especially in countries where they're not so well off, they think, well, I can't afford therapy. And you don't necessarily need therapy. Sometimes it's just someone to talk to, or a doctor to talk to, and then just Oh, apparently the Strange New Worlds trailer is here as well. Thank you, Cairo, for breaking that. And thank you, Vulcan Cat, for hanging out with us. I'm glad you've joined us. And if we do get to £2,000, we will do Auto's Rocket Man. And yes, that will be on YouTube. We will put that on there for you to review. But we've got to get to that.
It'll be a charity single.
Yes. I think he's still having troubles. So shall we kick off and start? And then also can drop in when needed. Sorry, buddy. So let me just play our STA intro. And welcome to the year of the world of tomorrow. This is our Captain Proton themed Star Trek Adventure session, which stars yourself. You are hosting, you are starting and GMing for us.
Yes.
Shall we go around the table? I just need to adjust the layout. But please tell us, what are we in for tonight?
All right. Well, first off, I'm going to give you your Captain Proton episode recap, because that is the tradition.
Hang on, let me get the appropriate music for you. Hang on. Right, go.
All right. The Adventures of Captain Proton, Chapter 8, Countdown to Catastrophe. When last we left our heroes, Captain Proton traveled millions of miles to the mysterious Planet X in search of a way of stopping the machinations of Dr. Diabolus, evil protege to the conqueror of the cosmos himself, Dr. Chaotica. Our hero arrived, only to discover that his usual gallery of rogues and villains had been bested by Diabolus, and a countdown clock to catastrophe for the entire cosmos had been put into motion. Now, with only an hour before Diabolus's devilish device strikes doom for every living thing, Captain Proton must ally with his sworn enemies: Arachnia, queen of the spider people; Lonzak, Chaotica's heinous henchman; and evil incarnate himself, Dr. Chaotica. Oh god, that's so good. So, would you fine gentlemen like to say for the audience who you are all playing? So I did provide character sheets.
You did, yes. I shall be playing Lonzak, the head of security for Dr. Chaotica. I shall be at his every whim and curses to anyone who defiles me.
Files you? That's a different tone.
I am Chaotica, ruler of the cosmos.
Oh, that's so good. Projection, I love it.
I am Captain Proton, protector of Earth and defender of truth, justice, and the spaceman way. Along with my ray gun and my trusty sidekick, Buster Kincaid. Hi, Captain Proton. Let's fight evil! Yes, Buster. Let's.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Oh dear, oh dear. And who is when Auto comes in? God bless you, Auto. Hope you get this sorted soon. Who is Auto playing?
He would be playing Arachnia, Queen of the Spider People.
Ah.
Arachnia.
Yes, your erstwhile bride. Okay, so we begin at the entrance to Dr. Diabolus's lair. Proton having had to crash his rocket ship in a magnificent conflagration of flame into the side of it in order to get them this far. It is a gleaming testament to future science. All smooth, round shapes, shining chrome and plasma balls. Indeed, Diabolus has even installed the marvel of marvels, a wireless transmitter atop his lair, so that he may broadcast his evil intentions to the cosmos, gloating that the universe itself shall soon come to an abrupt and silent end, and no one can stop him. And you guys are all aboard Captain Proton's rocket ship, having endured a very bumpy landing. I'm sure you're all very happy to be here.
Are you sure this ship is stable?
You survived, didn't you?
Barely. You've scuffed my
I'm growing
boots.
weary. I'm growing weary of this charade. Why are we working together?
Yes, I too want to know why we have to be in the same vehicle as this hero.
You know, they say the enemy of mine enemy is a bigger enemy. Was that right?
Very well.
These guys, Captain? We have to work with him for now, Buster.
Incredible. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and imagine you're going to want to pop the latch and on your immaculately sealed like rocket ship and step out onto this mysterious planet.
I shall go first to ensure that there are no ne'er-do-well beings on this planet that could harm my lord. So I'm going to stride out into the environment.
All right. So you pop you pop the latch, and it's a very very graceful landing. That the door just kind of goes like that, and you're fairly certain you hear a little bit of the scene dressing just pop off, but that's fine. The stage will get that.
Have you got my coffee?
Now
Have you got my coffee? It's about 2 sugars.
Now, once you've stepped out, you see that the exterior of the lair is patrolled by roving pairs of Diabolus's guards, dressed in gleaming spaceman attire and wielding ray guns.
My lord! There are men here! They brandish weapons unfamiliar to me.
I am a being of many talents. Perhaps I can discern what threat they pose to us.
All right. Let's see. What would this be? Because you know what, I feel it's only appropriate. Give me a science and command difficulty 2 roll to discern the difficulty of these dangerous denizens. Discern the deadliness.
A roll of 8, which is not the amount of dimensions there are.
All right. So you determine that these are, despite their very shiny accoutrements.
Sorry. My science command is a total of 8. I have not rolled.
Oh, total of 8.
I'm sorry.
What?
Oh, I thought you'd have a.
All right.
Wait.
I'm rolling how many?
So you're rolling 2 d20s.
Okay, 2. That's right.
And so you are rolling your. Oh yeah, sorry. Science and control actually. Sorry, because
okay.
it's attribute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you mixed up with your timelines card. So your target number is 16. So you need to hit 16 or below in order to succeed.
11 and 4. 15.
Ah, there you go. So in which case you get 2 successes, and so you determine that these deadly denizens are in fact not so deadly as they appear. They will very happily go down with one shot of a ray gun. If you're feeling so
Sire,
gentle.
I demand the privilege to shoot them in your name.
So be it.
I shall brandish my gun and wave it in front of them and say, watch. I'll look at Proton and say, watch as I vanquish these foes, much in the way I wish I could vanquish you.
Arachnia, queen of the spider people, has arrived.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Arachnia, your taste in late arrivals is exceeded only by your beauty.
Naturally.
Oh, brother.
This is perfect. All right, Lonzak, if you wouldn't mind, give me a security and control roll.
Security and control.
Difficulty 2.
I shall roll. Watch. I'm gonna so we're gonna be side-eyeing Proton, just be like, hey, watch this.
And I'll say that you can use either your focus in
yes.
henchman union disputes or
It's
conquest.
It's not gonna matter because I got 2 failures.
Oh, poor thing. Let me see if there's anything in your talents to help you.
Only if I succeed, I think.
You can re-roll 1 d20.
Okay, I shall re-roll 1 to make it not a complete failure. Oh no, I got 1 success. 1 success.
There you go. Well done.
I can fire my gun.
So I'm gonna. You fired your gun and missed in the Time Old tradition.
Consider this
and
a warning shot.
And they just kind of turn around and look at you, and it appears that the extras have missed their cue, and one of them has to slap the other and go, and they bring up their ray guns and they say, "Look, it's Captain Proton."
Is my ship functional at all? Is there like a turret I can point at them from the ship?
Do you believe it has laser cannons?
Perhaps.
Yes.
Chaotica does have his death ray. I made sure to include that on his character sheet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to turn the Buster. Yes, Captain. Turn the laser cannon turrets and point them at these poor fools. Get this taken care of. Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh God, I can't hold it together. All right, All right. I will go ahead and say that would be a daring plus security difficulty 2 roll.
16. All right.
You know, I'm a little bit shocked that Shai isn't riding on a life-size model of Captain Proton's rocket at this point.
Didn't come in the mail.
Yes.
Oh, he's already got it. I should have known.
All right. I got a 12 and an 11, so success.
Awesome. So in which case, your stalwart companion Buster Kincaid turns the laser cannons on these henchmen. And is he going to fire, or do you wish to make these men barter for their lives?
Yeah, I'll announce through the space microphone. Surrender, henchmen. We mean you no harm, but we will defend ourselves if necessary. Clear the way.
Incredible. All right, so at such a awe-inspiring show of heroics, they quickly throw up their hands, drop their ray guns, and they walk off set. Out of your way.
See how they run
now...
from Chaotica!
Oh, this is the best idea I've ever had. All right, but that may only have been your first obstacle, because you see the first layer of Diolus's true security, a deadly moat of crocodiles, all of which are very conveniently staying hidden under the water so as to save on budget, except for when a jaw very stiffly opens and closes when the audience are watching. How would you like to get past this deadly moat of crocodiles?
Can we run right on top of them?
I do have a focus in escaping dens of crocodiles, funnily enough. I feel like...
Well, that's convenient.
I will take Arachnia by the hand and, my lady, please allow me the privilege of escorting you across the lake of deadly crocodiles. I believe it shall be no matter for me to get across with you safely in my arms.
And I reach inside my blouse and pull out. Damn it! I should have had this ready. My vial of pheromones and uncork them. And I reach under Lonzak's nose and wave them. Ooh. Lonzak, you will escort me over. Carry me.
I'm going to pick up Arachnia. I'm going to swoop her up in my arms.
You impetuous harlot.
Sire! She is but a fickle being, but she is mine. Do I need to roll to pick up Arachnia, or can I just do it?
No,
Okay.
it's the golden age of Hollywood. She weighs nothing.
Fantastic. It's a dainty thing.
Dainty thing. All right. So you're gonna have to. So you're gonna have to give me a fitness plus command roll.
Can my stunt
Normally it'd be
that?
difficulty 2. yeah. You're gonna. This is why you have the big hat, so that when someone has to stunt double for you, it's not very obvious.
So what was that? Fitness and
security.
Okay, and I'm using my focus in escaping dens of crocodiles.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I should also point out, you guys have 4 points of momentum to start with, 1 for each player, so you do still have a pool of 4 momentum. And normally this would be a difficulty of 2, but because you are carrying Arachnia herself, and you must make sure not to do any damage to... You're right there, right? Make sure not to do any damage to her spider silk dress, or you will die. This is going to be a difficulty 3.
I would like to purchase 1 dice of momentum.
You may.
So
you have 3 momentum left.
3. Okay, roll a dice. So what we do? Sorry, fitness and security.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 13. What do we get? 2, 3, and a 19. So I got 2 successes.
Ooh.
Wow.
I believe that actually counts as 4 successes because you have your focus in escaping.
Yes.
And you get that point of momentum back.
Wonderful.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that with Roger Moore like a plum, you skip across the crocodiles, and Arachnia notices your very, very dainty, very impressive footwork, almost as if it were a much smaller, more agile, fitter man who had suddenly taken your place, and you are across, leaving Chaotica and Proton on the other side, left to do whatever.
My lady, we have arrived.
So are the crocodiles more agitated now, thus increasing the future difficulty rolls for the other 2 to join us? Okay.
Absolutely.
What kind of monster are you? Whose side are you on?
Well, I believe I have a jetpack, so I'm just gonna fly over and carry my buddy Buster.
My lord, are you okay?
Hold my legs.
I shall be fine, Lonzak.
Do you require any coffee? I believe Proton likes the stuff. It's in his cabinet.
Fool. Allow me to
right.
cross. I shall smack you.
I love this. I love this. This is the best I've ever done. Okay. Now, Proton, you're going to have to give me a...
I have to give you a roll to operate my jetpack? Okay.
Yeah, because this could go fun. This will be a daring plus con, difficulty 1. And you do have a focus in jetpack wizardry.
Yes. Plus con, so... Only 1... Yes, I've gotten my success.
All
Yeah.
right. And you also gain an additional point of momentum because you have the talent Into the Breach, because this
There
was
you
a
go.
task that required an extreme act of bravery to overcome, surely.
Am I able to carry Buster with me, or does he have to hop across the...
Oh, absolutely. Yes, yes. He's paper thin.
Okay, fantastic.
You should probably eat more.
That's right.
Now, Chaotica, ruler of the cosmos. How would you like to get across?
I decide how to best use a focus here. Get myself some extra help. Ah. 12. as I am a doctor from an evil medical school, I believe that I will try to whip up something in my laboratory to lure the crocodiles away from the moat, whereupon I shall glide across.
Okay, I like it. They teach you many things at Evil Medical School. You'll have to give me science plus reason, difficulty 2. This is a 17 for you. This should be a pretty good one. So that's 2d20, please. And you have a focus due to Evil Medical School.
2 and 2.
2 and 2. Like actual 2?
I could show you my screenshot. I rolled a 2 and a 2. So
Nice.
2 2s.
Okay,
So
in
you should
which
have made
case,
this much harder, Stars. We're just smashing these rolls.
How
you're only
balletic.
escaping dens of crocodiles. I've got much more planned for you. So I'm going to go ahead and say that, as if like a scientific wizard, you create some kind of magical sled, some kind of anti-gravity, and it wisps you across this den of crocodiles, and they obligingly open and snap very robotically, as if snapping at your heels. But alas, they cannot, because you are Chaotica, ruler of the cosmos. And everyone else is very, very impressed at your command of the situation.
Sire, I'm very impressed by the command you have of this situation.
Thank you, Lanzac. Arachnia, did I impress you?
No!
I shall win you over yet. And you shall one day be my bride.
Sire, I'm going to wander up to the Chaotica and I'm going to whisper, Sire, if I may give you a small tip in wooing Arachnia, she very much likes being skimmed over lakes of crocodiles. That seems to do the trick.
Shy, I think Nifty is giving you a run for your money here. All right.
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning. Where are we trying to get to?
You're trying to get into Dr. Diabolus's lair because he has an evil computer that is counting down to the end of the universe itself, and it conveniently ends in 33 minutes. So,
Chaotica, don't you think I have every man in the cosmos after me if you want to win my favor? Take us to... what was his name?
Diabolus.
Diabolus's lair! Once we're inside, you may sample my orange extract pheromones.
Alright. Oh, this is good. Okay. Now, after the den of crocodiles, you are now officially inside the lair. And now comes the most deadly game in all of the cosmos. Checkers. The script originally called for chess, but the studio was unable to cure human-sized chess pieces for this episode under budget. Now, in order to cross... yes, exactly. In order to cross this electrified game board, you must win the game of checkers. You don't actually have to play checkers.
That's good.
Okay.
Who would like to attempt to win and show up their fellows?
Arachnia, I nominate you, for you are the queen.
Okay, I will... How large are these checkers?
They are very, very large. They look almost as if they are hockey pucks. Suspiciously so.
I try pushing them, and they won't move, and I turn around from behind, and I'm pushing, and they won't move. So I walk over to Lunzak and tap him on the shoulder and say, Lunzak,
My lady,
your queen requires your service.
I shall fetch the boy. Oh, we're acting. Okay, sorry. Lonzak is here to perform the service that you require.
Very good. Move this checker piece forward 3 spaces.
Okay, would you like me to roll for that, or shall I just do it?
Yes, you'll have to give
Okay.
me a fitness plus security difficulty 1 to push
Okay,
a large
sure.
human-sized checker.
Can I use my focus in spider people mating rituals? Because I have observed the way they push against things, and I realised that technique is actually great for moving large obstacles.
I will allow it.
Okay. Okay, here we go. So fitness security. That is a success and a critical fail.
Ooh, okay. So in which case, I'm going to go ahead and say that you managed to push the checker forward, and it's an accepted move by the board, but you managed to put a foot out of place. You put a foot out of place, and you're going to take 5 points of stress.
Oh,
Did
Jesus.
you?
God.
Oh, wow.
Okay, since we are at the halfway point of this particular campaign, I want to shout out some more donations. Bossy Pants, who says, thank you all for raising awareness. My wife, who says, thank you, husband, for all the good you've done. Thank you for donating, dear. Noffy Noff, who says, I must catch the rest of the show on YouTube later. Thanks for a great stream and a great show all in all. And Evans and Simon of Wales, who says, thanks for the game. In tribute to the Captain Proton adventure, I will now sign up Arachnia and Lunzek to complete the
wow.
collection.
Very nice.
Dedication. All right. Now, since Lonzak has valiantly volunteered to be your checkers mover piece, now, who will wish to direct his actions and win the game? Who has the keenest tactical mind, the stunning intellect?
I hope it's not Proton!
The instinct.
Well, considering this is an Earth game, but perhaps who among us does have the keenest tactical mind?
I will let you know that the check would be, depending on the person, either reason or daring and command. So who feels?
Well then, if it's daring and command, you've got your man.
God damn it!
All right.
Shoot you! I've never met anyone more daring than you, Captain Proton. Yes.
That's the Braxton voice. I recognize it anywhere.
Oh, this is the best. I'm having fun.
Why?
Okay.
It's like Proton.
I'm so happy to be here. All right, now, Captain Proton, if you wouldn't mind giving me a daring and command check, difficulty 3 to win a game of checkers.
Oh, well, then I probably should spend a point or two of momentum.
You have 6. You have 6 points of momentum.
Can Buster assist
right.
him?
Use at least one, yeah.
I will say that Buster is cheering on from the sidelines, and that will count. Who wants to roll for Buster? Who wants to add an additional d20 for an assisted roll?
I'll Buster roll it.
Okay.
Buster roll.
So how many dice would you like to buy, Captain Proton?
I'll buy 2.
Okay. So you're back down to 3 momentum.
That's right.
So you're rolling 4. Buster, aka Chaotica, is rolling 1. Let's see.
Yeah.
What that's
King me, king me, king me!
I have rolled a 5.
That's a
I have
success.
4 successes and 1. Is a 2 a critical success for me, or is that a?
That is a critical success. No.
All right. So
Well, have you got a focus that applies? Actually, let me see.
I'm a Deadeye
Would this
marksman.
count his heroics? I don't know. Does check his heroic?
Depends who you ask.
Well, hold on.
I mean,
He has,
Check is his heroic.
Space.
I'm jumping over pieces.
he has a focus in defeating intergalactic evil, and we are in an evil lair. So
You know what? I'll allow that to apply. So in which case, you get your successes and you get a point of momentum back. Well done. All right. So you vanquish the checker pieces, and Lonzak, I should let you know that the little explosive squib in your shoe that was meant to go off when you hit the electric guide board, that finally went off, and there's a little.
It is all part of my
right.
plan, sire. The shoes will give me momentum to move the pieces.
All right. So now you've cleared these dastardly checkers, and
Yes.
finally next we come up to Diabolus's communication room, a sad affair consisting solely of long rolls of ticker tape displaying cries for help, pleas for mercy, and wailing sobs of despair. And in fact, a number of Arachnia's spider people have been enslaved and put to work as secretaries to read out the pleas and cries for help directly to Diabolus through an oversized space microphone.
I'd like to stand behind Proton and gently push him forward into the room. Oh, no, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Okay, go. No,
This looks grim. Okay, go. No, go on. What are you doing?
I was just going to push you into the room and I was say, what was his name? The Lord
Diabolus.
Diabolus. Oh Lord Diabolus, I have brought the nefarious Captain Proton as a victim, as my prisoner, in tribute to you.
Chaotica, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
So you said there's a microphone in the room?
An oversized space microphone through which they are talking directly to Diabolus and reading off all these wailing cries for help.
And how are these spider people kept prisoner?
With spider chains.
Well, perhaps I can use. I happen to have a space microphone on me, and if I can use my microphone against his microphone and create a lot of feedback, it will shatter the chains of the spider people, getting them to join our side in our assault on the fortress.
He is a genius.
I like the way you think. He is a genius. One might even say he went to evil medical school. All right, so you will need to give me a science plus reason, difficulty 3. I'm not sure if you have any focuses that might help here. Perhaps exclamation points.
Exclamation points totally applies because I'm speaking into the microphone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will exclaim loudly to reverberate my voice throughout the cosmos.
Absolutely. All right. So, would you like to buy any dice to assist your roll?
What do you think, gentlemen?
We have a billion momentum,
Yeah,
so
we do.
yes, please do so.
I'll buy one.
By one, yeah. Cool, you're down to 3 momentum, so you've got 3 dice to roll, Dr. Chaotica.
Okay. A 16, an 8, and a 7.
All right. So, in which case, your incredibly dulcet tones sweep through the room, shattering Diabolus's space microphone, and they create this wonderful feedback pulse of your voice, which I'm sure Captain Proton much appreciates hearing you just reverberating around the room.
Isn't he marvelous? Lonzak's just standing there, eyes closed, just going, "Oh yes," just taking it in.
And the chains shattered very dramatically, almost as if they were cheap dollar store props, but they aren't. And the spider people, who are they look suspiciously like the henchmen, but in slightly different headed outfits. They go, "Yes, thank you, Chaotica. Thank you for freeing us." They don't care about their queen. They don't care. She isn't in the room yet.
Ooh.
My queen, I have freed your people. Is that enough to win your heart?
I think we need to use... I also have a space microphone. Can we relay false data to Diabolus?
You
And
could,
that's
yeah.
the one I just destroyed. Yeah.
No, I have my own. I carry a
That's what I
space...
mean. We replace his with yours, and he doesn't know anything happened.
That's a good thing.
In fact,
I
since
like that.
we all have
do
space
that?
microphones, don't we?
Oh,
So,
as
like,
well. I've got a space
is-
microphone.
Is this time for like a musical number?
5,
You got-
6, 7, 8.
You gotta
Diabolica. Diabolica.
Incredible. All right. So now that you have braved
Mamma
the horrors,
mia. Here I go again. La la.
How could I forget you? All right. Now that you have braved the horrors of the communications room and freed the spider people, comes perhaps the most dreaded room of all, Diabolus's laboratory. A stark, dark, and nefarious affair. Long shadows cast by beakers and test tubes, holding horrors unknown to the world. It is very dark and scary.
Sire! I am scared.
Yes, Lonzak.
Did you bring the official nightlight?
I'm afraid I only have my portable spatioscope.
So your spatioscope is actually a very oversized prop with lots of twiddly dials and knobs that you could use to shine a light on the situation, as it were. Would you like to?
Yes.
Hold on.
Say it with you say it with such authority.
Before we do that, can I roll to see if I can convince Chaotica to just drink whatever's in the vials of potions?
I don't know if you meant to just drink it, but yeah, okay, give it a shot.
Good. All right,
Do you want to?
What am I rolling? Yes, I have a focus in Chaotica, believe it or not, and a talent in passive persuader.
All right. Okay, so what would it be to convince him to drink whatever in one of these tubes? Okay. I would say probably insight and either medicine or command. Probably command, actually. Yeah, command,
okay.
Yeah. A passive persuader, I forget what that does. What does it do? Let's see. Oh, you reduce the difficulty of negotiation based. Yeah, I would allow that.
Okay, what is the difficulty?
Normally it would be, well, Chaotica's pretty commanding. So I'd say it's going to go down from a 4 to a 3.
Okay.
I don't know how many people are going to let you buy momentum.
Lunzak, am I allowed to buy a dice to potentially put your boss in jeopardy?
It depends. Is the pheromones still working on me? Or are they worn off?
I'd say they're still working. They're pretty
Okay.
potent.
My lady, he will bravely drink whatever potions and concoctions, for he is Chaotica. He fears no medicine.
You will attack something which pinpricks to me.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 dice. I have 2 successes and a complication. So I have failed to convince Dr. Nifty Chaotica to drink whatever's in the potions.
You have, and I'm afraid that your posturing attempts have summoned something. The creature from Mercury, which happens to look suspiciously like a Horta repainted and missing a few parts of the costume due to a lack of care, but it's still very threatening. And it's shuffling nefariously at you, like...
Brings me to say that Captain Proton, I believe we need you.
Sire!
That's right.
How could you say so?
I am my trusty.
Lonzak, I have a talent for backup plans.
As we always say, the spaceman way is to shoot first, kiss girls later. Let's go, Buster!
And Captain
Alright, so you wanna
Proton bravely rides Buster Kincaid into battle.
I mean,
You might not want to do that in front of a live camera shot.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Okay. So you just gonna just like give it both barrels? You gonna go for it?
Yep, sounds like it.
All
Or
right.
ray guns.
Control plus security, difficulty 2, please, Captain Proton. And
Hold
you
on
do
now.
have.
Yeah, he has a talent in Deadeye Marksman.
He
Right.
does, which I believe. So you take a minor action and you reduce your difficulty or next action by 1. So it's actually a difficulty 1, and you also have a focus in ray guns naturally.
Yeah. Control plus security, you said?
Control plus security.
All right.
So difficulty 1, roll 2 dice.
Pew pew. 2 successes.
All right.
An 11 and an 8.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that. Let me see. What's the damage on your on your ray gun is 7. So let me just roll. But let's see how merciless you are to this poor thing. 3.
Damage roll. We haven't done one of those in a while.
Gee, Captain
Right.
Proton. Do you think maybe that was a misunderstood alien creature that we could have communicated with? Go have a cookie, Buster.
All right. So you have dealt 6 damage to the creature, and it brays wounded as if the Foley artist has played some kind of stock sound effect. But it is wounded, but not dead. And now it is angry. So who would like to take up the heroics next?
By the way, I've started a poll in chat, guys, for our next table read, which maybe we'll do at the end of this, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Do we know? Is gonna be Captain Proton brave in the music? Is Lonzak gonna just sit there and protect Arachnia like the hero he is?
cannot stand to see Captain Proton outwitting him and firing. So Captain Lonzak will stand beside him. Let me show you how to slay a creature. I have destroyed many beasts bigger than this over the years. I've been doing this. I would like to use a value. My value in that scurrilous do-gooder Proton. My disdain for Proton is so good, and I wish to outbest him so much. I would love to use my value.
Okay, well, in which case, you'd only be
Jesus.
rolling for momentum. Give me a
Fantastic.
control and security difficulty 2.
My control security 13, and I got 2 successes.
All right, 2 momentum back. Well done. And now your ray gun is 6. Let's see how much damage you do. So that is 1, 2, 3.
How much health does this not Horta have?
I couldn't possibly tell you. Enough that you have, but Blonzak manages to slay it, and the audience doesn't seem to know how to respond. They're very unsettled at the sight of a villainous character in the 1930s doing something so heroic. But eventually they start clapping.
See how
Not
it
bad,
destroyed
Lonnie.
by my hand in the name of Chaotica.
Oh, Lonzak.
My lady. My lady
All right.
Arachnia, it is not I that can be with you, for you are betrothed to my lord Chaotica. Our love is forbidden. It cannot be true, so I shall have to abstain, no matter how much it breaks my heart.
Are you sure about that?
Proton and Buster.
Oh.
shall be merciful.
We pull out some popcorn just to watch the drama.
My lady,
This is why I got all the villains together.
your spacecraft or mine?
We are proceeding far too quickly. I demand that Lonzak and Chaotica fight over me to the death.
Okay, I'm going to
Can I
shoot
do that?
Chaotica.
Do we want to?
Oh, yeah, should we finish the story? Let's
Do you
do the
want
story.
to? No, I'm good with this. I want to, like you said, like fuck the universe. That'd be fine.
No. Let's carry on the story. That was it.
I'm gonna say, if you want to fight me, I can use my talents of backup plans, and my focus in "I will always return" to get out of there.
No, Lonzak
Very
is
nice.
torn. He aims the gun at Chaotica, but his hand is shaking. It's like he can't quite do it. Like two minds in one fighting over control. His love for the lady Arachnia, or his devotion to Chaotica.
Zach, do not make me place you in the cradle of persuasion.
Not the cradle! His hand shoots down. He very surreptitiously just huddles at the back. Sire.
Bros before hoes.
It's true as in that century as it was in this one. All right, finally we come to the end game. Diabolus's diabolical computer bank, and the location of the deadly computer counting down to the death of the universe. And it is naturally a very large computer bank with rolling magnetic tape and a big ticking clock. And naturally, Diabolus too is here, protected by his plasma armor, a
What
newly
happened-
discovered state of.
What happened to Diabolus 1?
It's a system upgrade, don't worry about it. Yeah, but he's wearing his plasma armor, a newly discovered state of matter that no power, not even Chaotica's death ray, can penetrate.
Fiendish.
He's standing there looking very, very smug. You can see how he came to create a computer that can destroy the universe through unspecified but diabolical means.
Well, maybe a ray gun can't penetrate it, but perhaps a good old American judo chop.
All right. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay. Give me a fitness plus security difficulty 1.
Which is one of my weapons, by the way, is judo chop.
Yeah, it's specified to be a
For the
judo
viewers.
shot.
All right. Difficulty 1. What was this? Fitness plus security?
Fitness plus security difficulty 1, please, Captain. Proton.
Yes.
This is the most generous GM Stars has ever been.
Exactly.
Yeah, usually I'm not this nice.
I have one success.
All right. So in which case, you strike him, but then it bounces off him, and he laughs diabolically. Captain Proton, surely you must have not expected that a mere judo chop could not foul the incredible Dr. Diabolus.
No, but you're paying attention to me, while my companions are clearly doing something else.
I hope.
Okay, can I roll?
Yeah, you should strike now using something involving science, which I will collaborate with you on.
Can we have either Lunzak or Chaotica sing the song "She Blinded Me with Science"?
Yes.
Blinded me with science.
I'd allow it. Do you want to go for it? I'll need at least a chorus.
I have a talent in Nerve Pinch I would like to apply here. Since Captain Proton is bravely distracting him, I can sneak up from behind.
Yeah, that's meant to be a substitute for your spider powers, as it were. The kiss of the Spider Woman. I think I meant to relabel that by getting around to it. Okay. Now I believe.
I was wondering why she can do the nerve.
Spider Woman.
Spider Woman. Okay. Now let's see. A melee weapon, intense and lethal. So you will need to give me a fitness plus science or medicine. Difficulty 1.
I have my collaboration with science.
So
So that means I can help out, right?
I believe so.
Sire, shall I get the science ray?
Excellent idea, Lonzak.
I don't know where it is, but I shall look in the. I think we left it on the ship. Foils, curses.
Yes, I believe that Arachne can actually use your points in science instead of her own, because you are after a deadly duo. So.
Okay, well, I've already rolled using my own, so it's too late now to go back.
Oh.
It's too late now.
I've rolled a 1 and an 11.
2 successes, so you get a point of momentum.
And what did Chaotica roll as an assist?
Sorry. Too many tabs open.
I know the feeling.
Are we maxed out on momentum anyways?
Not quite. You can still bank some more. That's the
Sire!
real game.
Have you updated your antivirus?
I have rolled an 8.
All right. So, in which case, I'm going to go ahead and say that while Captain Proton's judo chop in American ways may not have foiled Dr. Diabolus, the kiss of the Spider Woman has proven more than sufficient. And for all his plasma armor and posturing, he crumples like so many men before Arachnia.
Spiders are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me. Da-da-da-da-dun.
You don't need love.
Bravo.
There's my James Bond of the evening.
And restored
Very nice.
achievement, my queen.
Still your beating heart, Chaotica. All right. But you may have bested Dr. Diabolus, but the computer is still counting down.
Uh-oh, how many seconds do we have left?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Oh, well, that's plenty of
The
time.
death ray.
You want to just shoot with the death ray?
We shall indeed. But I
All right.
have a focus in the death ray.
Naturally. Naturally. Okay.
And the value. I am merciless. I am without equal. I am Chaotica.
I'll allow it. Okay, so this will be a difficulty 5
Oh boy.
to aim the death ray and to thread that fine line of command and science. Now,
Shall I
you
assist
use
you,
your-
sire?
Okay.
I require help.
I shall assist.
Okay. So, Chaotica, you've already rolled 1 dice and rolled a 1, so you've got 2 successes under your belt already. You'll still be rolling 2 dice. The roll for you will be Insight plus Science. And Lonzak, you may roll... Let's go with Control plus Security to aim the death ray.
Okay.
So we have enough momentum to buy the max dice, right? 5 dice?
I believe so. Although I think 1, 2...
2 from
Yeah, you can-
Chaotica, 1 assist, and then 2 with momentum, yes?
And then we've got the 2
Yes.
from his value as well.
Yeah, so that dice already counts as 1. So you
we
can
might
buy
as well
another
use,
dice.
we might as
but
well
yeah.
use it all.
The ultimate
Yeah.
roll, gentlemen.
The ultimate. All 5 dice.
You roll 5, yes.
Who shall roll the dice?
That'll be you, and I'll assist with my 1.
The extras. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get all 4, Dr. Chaotica, naturally.
I'm going to roll mine now. Oh, I got a 5.
Okay, we've got 3 successes.
I have rolled 11. 13. 6. And fifth dimension.
Alright, so in which case, I will say that with all the blinding power of science, the death ray and the catastrophic computer collide.
Hang on. Oh. Safety first.
Alright. And the universe holds its breath. The cosmos convulses. And for the first time in his life, Captain Proton feels as though defeat may well be nigh. But where there is a will, there is a way. For our intrepid hero and his fair weather allies. Tune in next time for the dazzling denouement to Countdown to Catastrophe, Episode 9, Diabolus Defeated.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Thank you, Stars, for cheering that.
You saved the universe. Well done.
Incredible. Fun. That was brilliant. Brilliant. Bravo. Accolades all round. Oh,
Very nice. Very nicely done,
a
Stars.
lot of fun.
It was fun.
How long did that take you to write, Stars?
Longer than I want to admit, but because I was stuck for so long, I was like, how do I do this in an hour? What can I do in an hour? They get sidetracked so easily. It's like, yes, they literally have a ticking clock.
Shy, I'm requesting a close-up picture of your control panel there. Can you share that
Oh,
on
the
Discord maybe
jetpack
later?
controller.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Hang on, let me bring
that'll
it
work.
on the
Yeah.
screen. There it is. Look at that.
Oh, it's so good.
That's so good.
Oh, it can go slow or fast.
Yeah. It's from a 3D print model. So you can print
really?
this out if you want, if you're doing like a Captain Proton cosplay.
That's brilliant.
Oh, it's amazing. Very good.
I have to admit, that
Thank
was one
you
of the,
so much.
that was one of the most fun ones we've run in a while.
Everyone here, I love you all. You are amazing. I am so lucky to have been able to play with you. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're amazing, Stars. Thank you.
Aw. Thank you, Buster.
I think we do have to do a part 2 of that, just so I can see, just so your prop work doesn't go to waste. Definitely.
What do you mean? This is for charity. This is the best possible
This is absolutely
use of my printer prop work.
That's an excellent point. If you guys want to help save the universe and cheer on Proton, Chaotica, Lunzek, and Arachnia, there's the link in the chat. So you know what to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Finance.
And we are only £100 away from Auto's Rocket Man, so keep it coming.
Yes.
Little did you know that Chaotica has a focus in evil charitable donations.
Mind control?
Okay.
I've never heard Stars giggle quite this much.
I'm having a good time. I'm happy.
Having fun. Nifty, Shy, thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you on.
From the bottom of my heart, I love you both.
Yeah,
I love all of
seriously,
you.
it's
Our
been
pleasure.
great. You've been here to
Our
help
pleasure.
us with this. It's been brilliant. And we will see you very soon. I'm sure we're gonna have some more STA coming on, and I think Nifty will probably join our ranks for that at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
first
We'd be
time-
having
Well,
more
yeah.
fun to have him on board.
Is it your first time playing?
I have to jump into this. What the dub?
My very first time playing, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Excellent.
Next time I'll get more advanced growing on my goatee.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I would hope so.
It's not my strong suit.
excellent.
Yeah, just get your Sharpie out, man. I told you.
Next time I might just come prepared with ways to clean my face after and just go full Sharpie.
There is a middle ground between Sharpie and nothing, you know. There's like makeup, there's like eyeliner and
Sort of eyeliner I could boil. That would go.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
Take care,
very
guys.
much, guys, for joining us. It's been
Thank you so
fantastic.
much.
Right, we need to catch up with some donation goals before we carry on.